When we cut bits for our patchwork, we always have leftovers. Would you prefer this many leftovers or this many leftovers? I think I know my answer. I'd rather have this than that. So I would like to show you how to achieve such a small amount of leftovers. I've found a lovely pattern on internet from Jordan Fabrics, and it's not exactly the same. I had to improvise on the sizes. And these little pieces I have done my own style. They use Y seams, so you need to be very confident with your Y seams to achieve all that saving in fabric. So let's see. The pattern calls for 2 rectangles and 2 squares to make a block like this. You see there's a seam in the middle and diagonal seams. And this, I was using strip, 2.5-inch strips. To make these blocks out of 2.5-inch strip, you would get 8 of these blocks. And I think, was it 15 of these ones? Anyway, to do it my way, the ones that I am making now, I'm still in the process of building the whole quilt. See, we have Y seam here. And the way I cut is as follows. So if you imagine a strip, long strip, and it goes on and on. So when you have 2 of these strips, these blocks, it will be 9 inches. But when you cut like this, it only has 7.25 inch. So on 4 units you save almost 2 inches of fabric, and this lets you have 12 blocks out of 1 strip rather than 8. So it's 1/3 saving of fabric. So imagine we have the whole strip, 2.5-inch strip. First of all, you need to cut the whole strip in the blocks of 7.25 inch. And if you're careful, you can definitely fit it 3 big cuts like that. And after that, imagine this is still 1 block. After that, we need to cut it under 45-degree angle. So the way to make sure that we will get the same block when we finished, when we've sewn it together, how we need to do it. It always helps if your cutting mat has 45-degree lines on it. So what we do, we line up our piece and set it 2 inches from where the 45-degree line meets our piece of strip. So it's nice and nicely placed along all the grid lines. Then we have a ruler, well, any ruler will do. Here I have Ancio quilting ruler. This one is 6-inch square. It doesn't matter, as long as you have 1/4 inch lines on it. And what I do, I line my 1/4 inch line with this 45-degree line, like that. So we will be sewing on this line, and as we need 1/4 inch seam allowance, we cut there, and we get these 2 pieces which are exactly the same. And so I have a few more pieces. As we cut all our rectangular with a 45-degree cut pieces, when we have enough of them for our quilt, then we need to cut the piece that goes here. So instead of having these little squares, which when we cut off, all that will be a waste, a lot of it will be a waste. Instead of that, we will be cutting these guys. Again, they are cut from single strip, which is folded in half. This is leftovers that I have. So to cut these little triangles from a 2.5 inch strip, we obviously need a strip itself, and we need a triangle like this, 1/2 and 1/4 ruler, 1/2 square triangles. It's not a strip ruler, it's not a strip tube ruler. And it's very easy to cut when we have our big long strip. And there's the little things that were cut off it. So what we do, we put 2.5 inch line on the bottom of the strip, like that, and cut it there and there. Then once we have one triangle done, we turn it around, again align 2.5 inch line with the top of our strip, and cut like that, and so on and so forth. And from one strip you will have 14 of those triangles, plus enough fabric here on the fold to make one more strip. From one strip you will have 15 triangles, and it will be enough to make 15 units like this, using Y-seam technique. But if you go with this technology, then from one strip you will have enough squares only for 8 units like this, so it's almost double saving. And now I will show you how to make exact same block using Y-seam. It's not as scary as I thought at first. We have all pieces cut for our patchwork project, and the first thing I did is marked all these triangles only here. I put cross where the 1/4 inch lines meet, so it's like a seam allowances, and this will show me when to stop sewing, because we can't sew past that line. It's lovely rainy day outside and it's really cozy in my studio. This is one of the blocks that I've just finished. So instead of pulling the whole thing out and cutting it off, I just leave it hanging in the back, and that saves a lot of thread as well, and I like saving. Okay, first we take one of our long bigger blocks and our triangle block. It's very easy to align. We need to make sure that our corners all match, and because our my black fabric was cut in a zigzag, I just need to make sure that white triangle is lined like this, so the black corners zigzag line is kind of peeking out from behind. Just need to make sure that it's nice, the same amount of black fabric peeking out on both sides here and there, and sew it with 1/4 inch seal allowance straight up to our mark. There at the back. I usually do these things in pairs. That saves me thread as well, instead of pulling it out all the time. So I'll do another one the same way. Align everything nicely and stitch with 1/4 inch seam allowance straight up to the cross line here. And back tuck it. So now we have this piece. Now we need to attach another last piece to it. So we take another unit which is kind of symmetrical to the first one and line it up like this. So we have one seam already here, and now we need to do this seam here. I bend this slightly, just like that, so inside it's got 90-degree fold, so it's not in our way and we don't catch it. Again, align white triangle with the piece of fabric underneath nicely, and we will have to start this time from that cross line. Move this a little bit. Just need to make sure that we are still aligning nicely. Make sure you don't stretch, because this is all on bias. And we start with back tucking. And I'll do another one. Because I work in pairs, it saves me pulling the thread out and having lots of thread in the beginning and at the end of the sewing. This machine doesn't have cutting option, but the one I have with cutting option, when I cut automatically thread, when I start next seam, it makes a little nest underneath, and I don't really like it that much. So again, we start right from the cross. So now we have these, looks like trousers. And we need to just stitch this together. Again, we align nicely. We see that everything is aligning, and this vertical one also aligning very nicely. And we're going to give it a 1/4 inch seam. And my spool thread finished. Huh. Okay, so I've changed my spool now and bobbin, and now I'm doing this 1/4 inch seam right up to the point where this seam finishes. We don't have to go straight to it. Probably one stitch, not reaching about 1 stitch length. Gonna back tuck it. And I don't know if you can hear, but rain outside is scary. I need to go to the house in a minute, but I have umbrella. Okay, so I'll do the same with my second block. Align everything nicely, all the edges are aligning, and give it 1/4 inch seam, same as in the previous one. And voila, we have our unit. So to make the seams lie nicely, how I do it, I press one seam this way and one seam that way, and the middle seam goes this way. So what I do, I look at the back, just use my fingers to flatten this seam on white fabric and kind of hold it, pinch it this way, and then you see that this seam goes down and this seam allowance goes up, and then I just finger press it on both sides in the way I need. That's what we'll have at the back. I will be working on these units today, and hopefully soon I will be able to show my finished build. Okay, I hope this was useful video about saving fabric and thread, and I hope you like it. Please like and subscribe, and I think I will definitely post some more quilting and patchworking videos as I go, as I learn myself. Thank you. Bye.